First of all, I can't believe this many people came back here to watch me retire. I've had a lot of people talk about, when are you going to retire? I thought you were already retired. This is my third public speaking I have done in the past month. I'm not probably getting any better at it, but I'm a lot less nervous. When my supervisor said Sanford wanted to do a retirement thing, I kind of balked a little. I knew selfishly I wanted to get the quilts I made for the head coaches I have worked with over the years, but wasn't too excited about having to speak. Most of you know I don't like to talk, so I'm sure you understand my reluctance. Anyway, thank you for all the kind words tonight. I am humbled and want to thank everyone who took time out of their evening to share this event. I did not want this to be an I Love Me event. I wanted this instead to be an I Love You one. The quilts you see were made mainly for the head coaches and ADs I worked with over the years, and some additional ones sprinkled in because I had certain fabric or a special want to make one. I made them because I respected all the coaches and ADs that I worked with over the years, and it was my way of showing that respect. If I had time and the financial backing, I would have made them for all the coaches I've worked with. As long as I'm talking about coaches and ADs, I also want to acknowledge their partners. They are the unsung heroes who have to listen to all the ups and downs of being coaches' partners. They are the ones who hold it all together at home. And while I'm acknowledging partners, I have to put a very special emphasis on my partner, Amy Ernst. She has been my most avid supporter and sidekick over the past almost 20 years. When I was solo in this assignment, Amy became my assistant and often had what I needed before I even asked for it. I have a magnet on my refrigerator with an Irish proverb that says, "When I count my blessings, I count you twice." When I think of Amy, I multiply that several times. I need to thank Sanford Health for all the support they give both Minnesota West and Worthington High School. When I first tied in with Sanford, I wondered if a big corporation would be a good fit for me. They far surpassed what I had hoped for. From top to bottom, they have come through whenever I've asked for help, and that goes for administration, for all the support they give us, and the providers, especially ortho, for fitting in athletes when asked. Next to the schools I worked with all those years, District 518 in Minnesota West. We would be here all night if I thanked all the people who helped with that job. It takes an army not only to support but host an athletic event. I have to give special recognition to the ambulance crews and the police for their quick response and professionalism whenever called upon, and the emergency department for all the calls they handled. There were many special athletes over the years. I worked with 12 NFL Hall of Famers, numerous state and individual champions, 2 women's JUCO basketball players of the year, and I also worked with that first player off the bench that could have been a starter and could have been on an all-tournament team if they had started, and also the last player to get in and just wanted to be a part of a team. The players I was most fond of were the ones that cared more about their team than their own statistics. I think they know who they are. Of course, I didn't forget my family, including my 2 boys and now my 2 girls, my siblings and all their families. Combined, they never let me get too high and mighty. Most of you have no idea where my roots come from as far as athletic training mentors. I want to honor them here. My first mentor was Gordy Graham, who was one of the pioneers in athletic training here in the United States. When I was at Mankato State, they were considered the second best school in the nation behind Indiana. Gordy was legendary and an NAT Hall of Famer. My next mentor was Dean Kleinschmidt from the New Orleans Saints. Dean was the youngest head trainer ever in the NFL and is a 5-time Hall of Famer, including the National Athletic Trainers Association and NFL Hall of Fame. My first practice in the NFL, we had an athlete go down with a heat stroke and quit breathing 3 times on the way to the hospital. I learned how to stay calm during those life-threatening episodes from Dino. When I landed in Houston, Texas, I was blessed to have a great teacher and mentor in Jerry Mines. We just buried Jerry Saturday in Ireton, Iowa. Jerry was a part of an athletic crew at USC where he won 4 Division I national baseball tournaments and an additional national championship in football. After his NFL tenure, he spent the next 15 years in a career where he won 2 Crater Cups in the American Hockey League championships. If that wasn't enough, our 2 NFL team physicians with the Houston Oilers were not only great surgeons, but great teachers as well. When they finished examining an injury, they often would hand over an athlete and ask for our opinion. If our opinion was different from theirs, they never pointed it out in front of the athlete. They would give a hint and say, "Go check it again." The NFL Athletic Trainer of the Year award is named the Kane Fane Award after them. I guess I was pretty lucky in the mentor department. Finally, and most important, the 3 men I admire most are the Father, Son, and Holy Ghost. I would have mentioned them first because that is where they are in my book. However, I was afraid people my age would be humming the song American Pie, and that might have thrown me off. If I forgot to include anyone, please excuse me. I could have shortened this by saying every one of you should be recognized. I kind of have 3 pillars of view of life as basic themes: faith, family, and community. And that's the order too. I have been asked several times why I'm so passionate about this community. I only had to look at the picture of He Heals party we had when Wayne Klumper was injured. It reminded me when Mike Patrick was injured and the numerous other tragedies that this community came together to help out in. Every one of you stands in part of that fabric of this community. That's why this community is so special to me. I tried to think back about all the successes and failures I experienced over the past 50 years. Of course, being one game short of the Super Bowl 2 years in a row was there, the trips to the different state tournaments, the national tournament runs with both Lady Jays volleyball and Lady Jays basketball, and especially the 2 national championship wins with the Lady Jays basketball. They will always be etched in my mind. I talked to Maz about this because I did not want her to think the national championships weren't important. But when I think back, I think mostly of watching all the athletes walk off the court, the ice and the mats, and the field for the last time in their career. To me, that's a special moment, and that burns deepest. Now please be respectful and caring for Mitzi and whoever fills Logan's spot. They're just starting out and will need your support. I learned early on in my career that people don't care what you know until they know how much you care. And most important, absolutely most important message here is I always cared about the kids above all. I was always concerned first for their safety. Finally, a quote which I changed a little and I've always lived by. Fame is a vapor, popularity is an accident, money has wings, but faith and character live forever. God bless you.